What's up, you guys? It's your boy Eddie Maximilian back again for another video here at ASAP Moto in the Dyno Lab. Today we have ourselves a 2026 Kawasaki Z900. Now, this is the revamped version of the previous Z9. They did do a lot of electronic improvements, you can say. I'm pretty sure it's still the same motor. What we have installed on this bike, customer brought it with a full M4 exhaust. Unfortunately, I won't have a baseline pull on a completely stock one, but we will have a baseline to go off of before doing any type of flash or tuning. Here's the M4 exhaust, full system, 4 cylinders. You already know for the Z900. This is all new here. The tank is absolutely massive. It's a massive, massive tank. The new TFT display is really nice. Okay, it has like a little gyrometer for like an angle. Currently there's 5,600 miles on the bike. Okay, we got rider mode, rain mode, road mode, and sport mode. Oh, let's take a quick look at it. Very nice. Check out the other side here. Here is the Woolwich software. This is what we use to tune and flash the bike. Advanced settings, we're going to be disabling the top speed limiter here. The front wheel speed sensor so that we don't get check engine light and codes while we're tuning because the front tire is not going to be spinning. We're going to disable fuel cut. That'll give us a smoother on and off throttle feel. And we're going to disable the O2. We're going to unplug it and make it do what we tell it to do in the ECU, not what the ECU wants it to do. We also lower the fan temps down to 90 degrees Celsius, which is right underneath 200 Fahrenheit. Okay, limiters, we increase the limiter just a little bit. And then other maps, here's the ETV mapping for this bike. We're going to go to full power here. And we're going to go to, let's say, 4th gear. All right, so up here at the top, we have the X-axis. This is your throttle input. The first line up here is the throttle input, 0% up to 100% throttle. Then we have our RPM on the Y-axis. Now, to better understand, when you get over to the right-hand side of the graph, when we're inputting 100% throttle, this is what the bike is actually doing. This is how much degrees the throttle blades are actually opening. So at 100% throttle, at 1,000 RPM, for example, which is not realistic, but let's just say, following this chart, we're only at 38%. And it slowly climbs up 57, 60, 75. Once you get to about 6,000 RPM, we're at 75. And then it jumps to 100. So 1,000 RPM later, it just jumps to 100. This is going to create a jerky feel, not a very connected feel. And then at the very top end, it cuts the throttle blades by half. We're talking under 50%. And we're going to see this in the first couple of baseline pulls. You're going to see the graph go up and then just plummet off a cliff. All right, and this strategy or pattern that Kawasaki used, it repeats here in every throttle input at the very top end. So we're going to be adjusting this. We're also going to be adjusting in the mid and the low RPM range because this seems very lazy. This seems like a very poorly done ETV map. This isn't even close to what it should be optimally to get the most performance out of the bike. And this repeats for every gear. Nearly every gear is identical except for gear 6. They did max out 100% here for gear 6, which is odd considering you should be at you should be doing that around 4th or 5th gear at the very least. And then so 1st through 5th is identical, and then 6th gear is just slightly improved at the very bottom right. Okay, and then after that, we're going to be doing some ignition mapping adjustments. This is also very lazy. I don't know what they're thinking with this ignition map. It's all over the place where we got 31 degrees, then it drops to 28, then to 26, back up to 27, down to 25 again, then 23. Like what is going on here? This is absolutely garbage. It's a garbage ignition map. We're going to be adjusting that as well. And then of course you have your fuel map, which is this giant table full of numbers, which we will be adjusting based on what the bike is telling us to do while we're doing the pulls. So We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set this bike up, get the RPM pickup wire and everything to make sure we get the correct torque reading. If we have the correct torque reading, we're gonna get an accurate horsepower reading. We tune in SAE. I don't care what anybody says, SAE is the most accurate, most repeatable, most honest. STD, I'm not a fan of it. I feel like it's a little misleading, and technically it's still correct, but it's more of like a salesy correction factor. Let's get that going. I have to go ahead and open up the tank, all this trim panel and everything, just to get to the ECU, which is right under here. Okay, pop that right out, and we're going to keep it out here because here is where we're going to get our RPM pickup wire directly from the ECU. Alright guys, we're back. The bike is now set up for our baseline pull. We're going to let the bike warm up a little bit, and then we're going to calibrate it and then rip it. Alright guys, we got our baseline pull right around 120 horsepower, 71.5 foot-pounds of torque. Now we're going to be installing a K&N high flow air filter. I already have the tank propped up. All this is disassembled and ready to install. So this is the K&N KA9017. That is the proper part number for the Z900. I believe it's the same for the older gens as well, if I'm not mistaken. This is much higher flowing. I don't know if you can see through the light. It's kind of see-through. Let's take a look at all the screws are now out all around the perimeter, and also the center one. This pops right out like so. Look at these stacks. There are two shorties on the outside, and then these long ones that curve 90 degrees to the front. That's crazy. All right, so now this one pops right out. Yep, comes out. Not too bad, 5,000 miles. It's probably still good, but we're gonna chuck it. Instructions say to apply some sealant grease right here on the holes with the K&N logo facing you. So here's the grease. Trying to do this with one hand. Once we squeeze all the screws down, it's gonna go ahead and compress that and create an airtight seal. Let's put that back in and let's get this tune started. Alright guys, we did it. The bike is officially done. 2025 and 2026 Kawasaki Z900 Gen has made incredible gains. Let's go over the chart here. Major gains, okay? Peak to peak, this bike with a full system made 121 horsepower and 125.25 after tune. Torque wise, we did 71.5 to 75 torque. Keep in mind that this is after an exhaust and air filter installed. Stock, this bike makes about 115, maybe 116. So we gained about 4 horsepower just by doing the mods there. The main takeaway from this bike, because of Euro 5 emission standards, all bikes, 2025, 2026, especially 2026, are coming heavily restricted from factory. We're talking about like 50% power, like just chopped off, neutered. The bikes now, they're not that great. I'll be honest, they kind of suck. Unless you get something like a BMW, which from factory is already pretty much dialed in, Aprilias as well, and maybe Ducatis, depending on the model. Now, back to the bike. The reason why we have such a giant cliff on the red line, which is stock, is because from factory, 9,000 is peak, and then right after that, the butterflies close down to 47%, which is what you saw earlier in the ETV map that I showed you. So I'm going 10,000 RPM, I'm giving it 100, but the bike is only giving me 50%. Now, that's really bad. They do that for emissions. If they don't do that, they won't be able to push these bikes out every year. They have to continuously kind of neuter the bikes more and more and more as emissions becomes more strict. Of course, AFR is dialed in, straight, perfect line, right around 13.1. And the big takeaway, of course, is over here where we gained a whopping 31 horsepower, and we got a little bit more power by extending the RPM, dialing in ignition mapping, ETV mapping, and the AFR, of course. And then for torque, we got a whopping 15 foot-pounds of torque, which is about 30%. Again, here in the middle, we got 4, and then probably 3. Okay, so still incredible gains on this bike. Now the bike is running the way it's supposed to run. The 2025, 2026 models, especially from the factory, they're just not good. You gotta tune them. You gotta tune them so you can enjoy your bike. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.